Welcome to the first presidential debate between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris.
Today we're gonna find out if former President Donald Trump will be on his New York tough shit or keep it professional. We're hoping this debate won't take too long because I got a tampon that's leaking at the edge of my butt crack.
Yes, and while her ass is on fire, we're gonna attack both candidates on purpose so they could resolve their beefs in person instead of talking all that shit on the internet. The 2024 presidential debate sponsored by your baby mother's SNAP benefit starts right now. What's cracking, everybody, and welcome to the presidential debate between two people that been beefing longer than the expired milk you have in your freezer. Tonight we're gonna be talking about abortion, gang-related activity, food stamps, and baby mothers slapping their children in front of the almost convicted baby daddy, and much more.
And since my baby father left and never came back, I had to kick our son out of the house for being a deadbeat loser. Tonight we're gonna witness the African side and Caucasian sides of Donald Trump. And as for Kamala Harris, she's gonna be a lying immigrant in front of Donald's face.
That's correct, and tonight we find out who has the highest SNAP benefits when we hack their cards after tonight's debate.
Each candidate gets about 2 minutes to debate and then get an extra minute for rebuttal or feedback.
If any chance the candidates have to take a big shit or have their period, they have to hold it in until after I make the SNAP benefits transaction successful.
You are allowed temporary pampering during commercial break, but you have to cluck like a chicken before you get assistance.
This will be the first time that both candidates square off and show the world how ghetto they are behind those phones they used to talk smack.
Kamala Harris will take notes from her orphan child's Samsung phone, while Donald Trump will have a secret chip in his ear from Elon Musk telling him what to say.
Elon Musk is not dead, but the ghost of Elon Musk will be in attendance in company by Donald Trump. There is Hoodlum Harris and Donald Duck.
Hi, I'm Coconut Harris.
I want to thank you two for coming on here in front of 2 million people watching from an adult website and rednecks streaming from a laptop placed on top of a pizza box. Let's start this debate off with hungry children inside of dog cages. There's dozens of children inside cages in Venezuela, and their kidnappers are traveling to Mexico to host Taco Friday inside of a barn. As president, we need to know, how are you going to stop illegal immigrants from stealing children from the United States and bringing them back to their countries?
So, I love tacos. And with tacos, you gotta make it with the hard shell, so it doesn't get moist and soggy like an expired milk carton in your fridge. And I've seen kids get kidnapped all over the world, and I witnessed the horrors of innocent people get taken and traded for a bag of Doritos inside of those Mexican supermarkets in Florida. I can't look a child in the face and eat a bag of Doritos because Doritos are equivalent to a hard-shell taco, all different flavors like a Super Bowl party with a piñata bursting in the air. It's truly disgusting that we as a nation allow these things to happen. For all I know about those kidnappings is that those criminals have a corrupt agenda they practice in their culture that goes back centuries in the transatlantic slave trade when it started. I want to be able to eat a bag of Doritos and not think about kids getting kidnapped in California or Mexico. I want to have taco night and not think about a child inside of a cage that is starving or kids getting sold in pizza boxes to foreign countries. These are the things I do not stand for as your next president. When I was young, like a little coffee bean, I used to lick ice cream from an upside-down cone because my mother couldn't afford the cone to be right side up. Which puts me in an awkward position that I have to think about these children and what they're going through. I was fortunate enough to learn what a taco meant for those who are criminally insane. But you just know that if I'm elected president, I want to ban all tacos and Doritos because there are criminals in Mexico hosting fiestas for their psychotic, sadistic acts of unauthorized torture.
Trump, what is your response to that?
This lady is completely sick in the head. I can't believe she said that shit. She didn't even answer the question. She just did a whole rant about a snack that has nothing to do with the kidnappings. She's allowing these immigrants to come into the country and steal our children. I personally know the guy in Mexico that she's talking about. I know him very well. You brought up kidnapping in Venezuela. There's no kidnapping in Venezuela. It's all in the heart of California, and they bring them to Mexico. She's talking about tacos and chips. Those criminals are flooding our border because she opened it, and she allowed the kids to get taken for higher institutions to build more structure for human trafficking. If you put a taco shell that's made out of Doritos and served it to her inside a pizza box, she's gonna have the biggest heart attack this world has ever seen. There are kidnappings all over the world, and hell, she probably has her husband locked in a cage right now. I don't think all immigrants are bad, but the majority are the most evil people you ever seen, even worse than Satan himself. I gave a Mexican $500 on the street yesterday and he thanked me. She could give them free government iPhones and food stamps and still lock them up. She raised $5 million from illegally fracking our ecosystem. She can't drink a whole bottle of that, all and her IQ levels will be lower than a drug addict trying to quit addiction because they can't. I will spend billions and billions to build walls and she would spend billions and billions to cause more inflation because she likes fracking. I gave people more jobs than the average kidnapper. Why would you elect a coconut that's gonna keep letting these kidnappings happen in the United States? She hates Doritos so much she can't even eat a fucking tacky. I will endorse lifetime supplies of tacky and mail it to everyone that votes for me in November. If I'm elected president, I'm building 100 walls across the border and I will make sure to build a wall around her $500 apartment so no criminals can enter on her side. I guarantee before I'm in office, all criminals of all kind will be executed or deported and will not be able to fly over because the walls will reach the gates of heaven.
You do realize that whatever Elon Musk is telling you is completely dog shit, right? Kamala, you get a minute for a response, then we gotta move on.
So first of all, he talks too damn fast. Let's just get that very clear for a second. We are not going to be hostile about a serious topic. We are supposed to be advocates for this country. And here he comes with all his nasty remarks. Here he comes with all his nasty remarks. We do not stand for any type of crime that is happening all over the world. Those kids that are inside those dog cages are not because of me. Let's get that very clear. Donald Trump has Elon Musk buzzing in his ear right now as we speak because they secretly wrote love letters to each other in favor of El Nino, who is the most famous drug lord out of Mexico. He smuggled drugs with a Taco Bell bag in the back of White Castle, where they sell crack in blocks of cat shit and lick them like a dog. He believes that all immigrants are criminals. That's like saying he believes that, for example, let's say you order pork fried rice with boneless chicken wings and the lady forgot to put your duck sauce and ketchup in the bag. Now she's incriminated an awful act of not getting your order corrected. What about them drowning the fries with ketchup instead of squeezing just an inch? That's criminal behavior.
Okay.
Look, this bitch is so toasted that if you put hot sauce on a French fry, she's gonna say you're committing acts of gluttony. This is the worst vice president we have ever seen.
She gave China King a bad review for selling shrimp rolls in the shape of an shrimp. Who the hell cares it's a shrimp?
I don't care about no food. She's been talking about food like she's gonna have the world's biggest butt cheeks on display. Who the hell cares? I could make a takeout order and have it delivered in 1 minute. She's gonna run a marathon at McDonald's because they broke the ice cream machine. After this debate, I'm gonna order a 50-piece chicken nugget and this bitch will eat the crumbs. She's a joke. Everyone is laughing at her. You know, on Halloween, there's always that mean old lady. She's the child snatcher. She's the one that's kidnapping these children with her hypnotic political beliefs. She's terrible, very, very terrible. Now, every time I eat Oreos, I can't lick the cream off it because she looks like a damn Oreo. This lady does so much inflation, she had to pump up more of her lace to cover up her sadistic acts of IQ. It's crazy.
She said, I want to get rid of food stamps. Bitch, when did I say that I don't care about food stamps? Let the people eat. It's called food stamps for a reason. Habla demasiadas mierdas para ser vicepresidenta. Los enviará a todos al infierno si votan por ella en noviembre.
What the hell is your response?
Yo también sí hispano, maldito idiota. As you can see clearly, he is no threat to this Oreo if you want to get technical. We are building a plan that is gonna unite the people. He has no plan, and he never will, because Donald Trump doesn't plan ahead, so we must in fact check him and get past this charade that he allows to try and pin down his opponents. My plan is to build a plan that's gonna have a plan so it can help with backup plans in order to never lack a plan. His plan, on the other hand, is to do the opposite of everything that we have in power to help get this country on track. He's gonna use his power and turn it to powder. You gotta understand that difference. He compares me to an Oreo cookie, and that says that he is not taking this debate seriously because of the cookie. He is not protecting you. He does not have a plan for you, and certainly does not give a damn about you. Everything he says gets you hypnotized into believing his criminal psychology acts of being in denial.
She is so full of shit. What does that got to do with anything? And so what? I got convicted, yay boo-hoo. At least I got shot in front of millions and millions of people, and on her resume she got low IQ. I got shot at, and they said this wig is a warrior. She talks about coconuts, and I think she is insane. She don't know what my plans are. I just haven't released it. She has bootleg crooked plans. Everything she wants to do has to be approved by crooked Congress, just like that lady Senator Janelle Congress. She wanna call her Kelly on the phone talking about he's gonna P. Diddy her in front of the White House. I don't give a damn. They all got infections like Usher peeing in Obama's toilet. And you know what Usher said to P. Diddy? He said he gonna let it burn, baby burn. Well, I'm gonna drill, baby drill Kamala Crooked Harris this November.
Since we're on the topic of foods, then let's talk about how prices are up in groceries and gas, even entertainment venues like concerts and festivals. Donald Trump, you mentioned that R. Kelly was gonna P. Diddy Kamala Harris inside of Obama's toilet because Usher was peeing from his infection. And I want to talk about the pricing on groceries. It costs $10 for a jug milk, but from a cow it's free. You mentioned that Senator Janelle Congress was crooked like Kamala. Explain to us why is she crooked and talk about everything you want to say so we could get this beef going for the people watching at home. You was scheduled to go to jail after the election. Tell us, did getting shot at make you become more of a brother than the average African-American gangbanger? And where do you stand on ABC News releasing your SNAP benefits to the public? We know you hate Kamala, but how much do you hate her in order to get P. Diddy to party with R. Kelly inside of Obama's bathroom at the golf course?
I told her, Kelly, that if Drake keeps hiding his kids from the world, Kendrick is gonna Diddy him at the Super Bowl in front of millions and millions with Usher's P bottle from Michael Jackson's closet. I saw Kamala Harris at a P. Diddy party last weekend while her husband was tied up to a transgender in the back of Drake's house. Rick Ross called me up and said DJ Khaled was taking a bath inside a pool of barbecue sauce with chicken wings thrown at him. Then Usher burned P. Diddy's footage of him sleeping with men getting caught in the act of being Diddy. Now she's acting like her husband wasn't caught being Diddy to Joe Biden when he sat on his lap at the Murray Go round in Coney Island 2 weeks ago. Now back to the food prices. She's the one that's raising everybody's groceries. People can't even afford cheesecake because they have to travel to the cheesecake factory to buy it. You swipe a food stamp card at the stores, and they're taking hundreds of dollars because of what she put into law. If someone wanted to eat cotton candy, they have to take the cotton out of the pillows and melt it on the stove.
Is it true that your husband might be a closet homosexual? And if so, when did he taste the rainbow?
So let me make this very clear. My husband is not affiliated with any trans or anything other than me. Trump is just waiting to come out the closet. That's why he's so comfortable with tearing women down. He never want to hear about himself. I worked as a prosecutor and I seen every type of villain out there. He is no Batman. He is the Batman. Joe Biden was never, not once, near my husband, nor will he ever be as long as I'm there. P. Diddy this and P. Diddy that. But he doesn't realize is that he's done more Diddy damage by being a convicted felon under 32 counts, and talk about someone's reputation when he's known for saying the most uproar, unspeakable things that has ever crossed his mind. Trump is like a bad ex that just won't go away, and I will prove this election why I'm the better candidate. And speaking of food prices and SNAP benefits, we gave the option to track down your transactions. You were able to use your SNAP benefits and government assistance through the system that we just got a hold of. You should be able to use your PIN. Prices will continue to go up if you elect Donald Trump, that I can guarantee. When we fight, we win, and you will see it for yourselves, but you have to make the right decision. If you want better prices, don't vote for Donald Trump. That ice cream sitting in your fridge is probably expired, just like Donald's brain cells coming up to this debate.
You know, there's people in Ohio that are eating cats and cooking dogs. It was on social media and she's worried about an expired ice cream that already gives you brain freeze to begin with. She probably say if you cook a fish you're committing live bait. I don't know, this bitch ate so much ice cream she can't even get past chocolate because it's in the middle. My little nephew that is 5 years old can eat a whole Chinese menu and won't throw up anything. You give her McDonald's and rack of ribs, she's on the toilet for 6 hours. Now let's talk about abortion. She wants everyone's stomachs to be big but get mad when they blow up the bathrooms when they take a shit. You put a 6-pack of beer on the counter inside a local store, she's gonna think you're a alcoholic. You take a piss inside the public potty, she's gonna say you're piss passing on public property. You get robbed in broad daylight, she's gonna say it's your fault. You get shot for no reason, she gonna say it was God's plan. You commit a crime, she's gonna have a party for successfully convicting you. You play music too loud outside, you're an attention whore. And she wants men playing in women's sports, that I can guarantee, but the world is gay enough already. We need non-identifying people again.
You mentioned about people eating cats and dogs, but there is no evidence of that. You also mentioned a lot of things just now. Can you just clarify any of those statements?
Okay, first off, I don't need to really clear anything. She's the one that's doing all of this. She took a picture of her nasty butt in a swimsuit and said 60 years old and I still got it. Got what, bitch? You got a flappy pancakes. Her nalgas look like cracked walnuts because of the stretch mark. The kids don't even want to go trick-or-treating at her house because she sells cough drops and convictions. You put a Ouija board in her backyard, she's gonna break her hip when she sets up the table at Thanksgiving. She's acting like she doesn't know what I'm talking about, but that's okay. Keep playing stupid, you're good at it. The muscles on her neck looks like a Snickers bar on steroids. She's the same color as a French fry, and she stole that wig from Party City. Everything that I said is a fact and she cannot fact check me about nothing. I called Diddy last night and I said, what's going on? He said nothing, just doing Diddy things with the vice president. I said, fuck, you mean vice president? He said, you know Coconut Harris. I said that Diddy party is no joke. He said if I knew Joe Biden was going, and I said I doubt it because he's dead. He said, all right then, I got a hooker on my bed waiting to get smuggled. Next thing you know, Kamala was doing premeditated rituals. So now you got a 17th century witch trying to debate me, which makes sense why she's such a loca with her crooked acts of lies. That ain't gonna go that far. She said she was black and the DNA results said she was caramel. If I was any more black, I would have to slap her like Chris Rock getting slapped. You can't believe where I met P. Diddy. I caught him in Nick Cannon's living room snoring drugs off a naked painting of Coconut Kamala. I said, ¿Qué estás haciendo? He said, estoy tomando coca. You can't make this up. She was on a damn painting and she probably painted it. I took a bunch of edibles from Nick Cannon's weed tray. If you give Joe Biden an edible, he's gonna be on cloud nine snorting Kamala's colo. And one last thing, nobody even knew who Coconut Harris was until the Diddy scandals came out. That's when the media started talking about her.
Thank you, Donald Trump, for that clarification. Kamala, now is your time to clear your side of the story.
Okay, first off, I never even met P. Diddy. Let's get that clear. If I wanted to sleep with P. Diddy, I could just have my husband buy a P. Diddy costume on Amazon, okay? Trump has once again said nothing but lies, and that's what gives him all the power. Just because you can belittle someone, it doesn't make you any strong. I will personally call P. Diddy on everyone's behalf to order an apology because we know that ain't true. P. Diddy will be P. Diddy and Kamala Harris will be Kamala Harris. If this is the kind of president that you endorse into the White House, you will fail as a country. When I was 7 years old, my family used to watch Diddy videos before he was famous. P. Diddy can be known for a lot of things, but here's my new interpretation. Donald is definitely dumb, yes. He's making these statements to distract what we have in center here. What's most important, he's trying to manipulate his audience and use these distractions to cheat his way in, and we cannot allow that. I've been up and down block street corners. I've been everywhere, and the fact that you stand up here to act more like a thug than a professional candidate is mind-boggling. This is a president you do not want to put through I am the real deal, and this election will be for a change or it can break rules. Just like R. Kelly said, and this is my interpretation. Trump is gonna lose, but his mind tricks is gonna win, and that's if you elect him this November.
You know who else is worse than Diddy? It's Sean Diddy Combs. Sean Diddy Combs have twisted her mind with his silly antics. Why you think she's always laughing at every interview? Every time she's getting asked a serious question in those interviews, she laughs, and you know why? It's because she sees Diddy in her conscience. She gets high with Nancy Pelosi, then talks crooked with crooked Janelle Congress, then she reads Joe Biden a bedtime story, and then she slaves her husband feeding him to a transgender.
You mentioned that a lot. What's your problem with the LGBTQ community?
I don't care about the BLT community shit. If you have balls tucked in your genitals, I don't really care. Her favorite thing is fracking, and she's gonna be fracking this country faster than a fucking squirrel looking for nuts inside a coconut tree. Now let's talk about the deadly mosquitoes, because they've been flooding our country because she allowed the immigrants into the border. She's so stupid she probably catch a mosquito, then sting herself and say, oh shit, I'm gonna turn into a vampire now. This lady is nuts, absolutely nuts.
Why do you think she's crazy? Can you elaborate on that?
Esta dama está completamente loca. Ella es el diablo disfrazado, y tú la interpretarás como una marioneta. Ella es un puto coco, a quien le gusta besar a P. Diddy por teléfono. Ella lo llamó y dio las drogas. Ella está loca, muy muy loca. Y ella recibió una bibi y su trasero es horrible. Completamente horrible.
To translate that, he said you look like one of P. Diddy horses that he tames in Texas and be bending over to Joe Biden giving him lap dances.
It's true she could shake it like a stripper, but when her bones crack, it's gonna sound like P. Diddy taking a bite out of a chicken thigh at KFC. Look, I've been flaming her this whole debate and it's not even 10 o'clock. When's the last time you seen a crackhead asking for a quarter at the corner store? Today you saw that today and you're gonna see that again tomorrow, but what's the difference? You ain't never gonna see coconut Kamala Harris, I guarantee that. She's worse than that alley girl kissing babies in the mouth. She is worse than China. China betrayed me and Kim Jong-un said he's gonna blow up New Jersey with Chief Keef using a bazooka made out of coconuts.
Okay, Kamala, can you just clear up all these rumors being held against you? We need to know the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not going to keep up with his shenanigans. This is not what I was looking forward to. If you take a plate of some chicken with rice and beans on the side with some corn and smutter that with some whole grain butter and let it melt like Martha Stewart getting a suntan in San Diego under a palm tree, the results you're going to get is that I just had a wonderful dinner inside of my own home. And yes, I took Ozempic to reduce the amount of fat I had in my body. I had to lose pounds for this debate. Then he was talking about people eating cats and dogs. I got to taste my own dog food before it marinates inside the fridge so it doesn't get spoiled. I migrated to the United States on a banana boat and had to throw black beans at refugees to make beads so they can pray over spiritual guidance. I took a chicken leg and dragged it to Louisiana from Chicago so Popeyes can cook it crispy. I never had to come from a struggle. Those were works of miracles that I had to sacrifice in order to make it to where I am today. I had never done any drugs. I am the drug. I am the drug to all his delusions. We're living in a time loop, and if you elect Donald Trump, you're just going to keep getting the same results, which is why we cannot go back.
First off, she's on Coca-Cola right now. She just said she eats dog food before her husband gets to snort it off her butt cheeks. She's very loca, very, very loca. I never done anything like that in my life, and I'm the one from New York. But after this debate, I want what she's on because I haven't gotten high since the 80s, and they had bad drugs back then.
They said if you get high with Kamala Harris, you're gonna start seeing coconuts.
Well, of course I am. That's why I want to get high, but not if she bought from Diddy. She bought 10 million illegals into the United States and she's hiding a transgender inside her closet drinking a coconut through a dildo. When she opened the border, I said,
Dios mío, está jodidamente
man.
loca. Ella debe
You
ser
got
la
something to
próxima
say? Say it
lectora
to
de
my face,
Hannibal.
you nasty,
She's just
degenerate
like
hypocrite
Hannibal
of a
Lecter,
candidate.
very mysterious and very creepy.
she became a puppet like Jigsaw except she can't do no puzzles. You put a piece of cheese on a plate, she's gonna chow that baby down like a New York City rat. She's the biggest cucaracha turquita this world has ever seen.
Hockey, we gotta take a commercial break, but we will be back with more in just a few moments.